What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. So I saw something quite interesting and just want to share with you guys. I was on fadeawayworld.net earlier and I saw an article talking about that time when Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain gave their top six players of all time list. And that clicked with me because I knew exactly what interview they were talking about because I have that interview on my channel. So I looked at the article, and sure enough, embedded in that article was the video from my channel. Now, I haven't looked at that video in a while on my channel. I haven't really looked at it. The last time I looked at it, it had something like 700,000 views. Now, I'm pretty sure that it's been a surge since the passing of Bill Russell. I don't know exactly where it is now, but last time I looked at it, it was like 700,000. I remember that interview when it actually aired. It was a special that came on NBC back when NBC still had the contract and the rights to NBC in the games, to the NBA, in its games. And it was right after the debut of the top 50 greatest players revealing. So this might have been early 1997 or so. And Ahmad Rashad in this special interviewed Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain, who had recently reconciled after many years of not talking to one another. You know, for bad blood beef that lingered from that 69 Game 7 when Bill Russell said some things he shouldn't have said on the radio. But they both talked about, at their time, how they were fared in the NBA back then. And, Wilt was boisterous. Bill Russell was steely, serious. But, he talked about, I remember distinctly he said that he would have been difficult for the Bulls to stop because he was not an offensive player. He was a defensive player. So it would have been hard to game plan against him. And Wilt said that because of the way the league was at that time, he felt he would average 60 or 70 points a game, which I thought was ridiculous. I remember hearing that like, all right, Wilt, man, I know you bad, man, but that was ridiculous. But I kind of understand what he's talking about now. What he's saying is, if he had the green light to take 39 shots a game like he did back then, and to be able to be physical with the relative lax defense that they were playing in the 90s compared to the 60s, and he's allowed to use his strength and his finesse, yet now I understand what he's talking about. Because basically what he's saying is, if I'm able to take that many shots, I'm not going to get the defensive resistance I used to. I'm going to be able to dip my shoulder in the defender, into the opponent or the defender, I guess I should say, like Shaq did. Wilt couldn't do that in the 60s. I could be able to do all these other things that I couldn't do. I could dunk and I could do all this other shit, these high percentage shots. Okay, now I kind of understand what he's saying. I kind of get it. I still think it's exaggeration, but I think on the right team, Wilt could have averaged 45 points a game. I just don't see him taking 40 shots a night, but back then. But I could see him putting up 40 points a game. I definitely could. This is also an era where, fans still cared a lot about the history of the NBA. We were teenagers, but we cared about the players of the past. Even if we had our biases and thought that they would struggle, we still respected them. And this is something that really troubles me with today's youth and the little respect they have toward their the pioneers. It really bothers the fuck out of me, I remember distinctly, it was a few players they said that should have been on that list. The number one guy that kept popping up was Dominique Wilkins. And it was a shocker that he wasn't on that list. Another guy that pops up that's still not on the top 75 list is Alex English. There's no way in hell that Dame Lillard should be ahead of Alex English, in my opinion. He shouldn't be ahead of him. Adrian Dantley, where is he? You know, if you combine the ABA and NBA, where are guys like Artis Gilmore and Dan Essel? Where are these guys? If you're combining the ABA and NBA. So at the end of the day, I just want to share that with you guys. Tell me what you guys think.